What's going on, guys? Today we're going to talk about the 5 mistakes in your 20s that's going to keep you poor in your 30s. I can't stress enough that if you keep doing these mistakes, you're going to end up like the guy in the cartoon from like a meme that lives in a 1-bedroom apartment, fat, I'm assuming doesn't have a job, doesn't have a girlfriend, living by himself, and is completely miserable. I don't want that to happen to you, so I can guarantee you if you follow these steps and avoid these mistakes, once you hit your 30s, you're going to be much more fulfilled. You're going to have more money. You're going to look good. You can have a good girlfriend. You can have a nice family, and you're not going to regret doing nothing in your 20s. So the first mistake to avoid is chasing women. I can't think of a bigger waste of time than mindlessly dating, chasing women. I'm not talking about getting into a relationship with like a long-term girl that you know you can marry. I'm talking about mindless dating, shuffling through dating apps, DMing random girls on Instagram, telling your friend to introduce you to that one girl that he works with. Imagine how much time you're wasting going through dating apps, planning the dates, talking to multiple women, having different conversations, spending time, money on dates, planning the dates, going through all the bullshit about, oh, I can't go there, or can we schedule another time, or my dog got sick and her stomach was like, ugh. And it's just like, all the bullshit that you have to go through, all the money that you spend, all the energy that you have to spend, talking to them, feeding them, entertaining them. I just think it's just a bad ROI altogether. And like I said, if this is like something that, it's a long-term relationship, you actually can see a future with a girl, then fair enough, that's all good. But if you're just on apps, just talking to random women just to kind of kill time and because you have nothing else to do, imagine if you spent that time learning a new skill, finding a better job, learning a skill that could get you promoted to like a bigger position in your current job. There's so much things that you can do, and instead of filling the void that you have in your life with meaningful things, getting a better body, getting a better career, making more money, you're filling it with just talking to random women. For what? So you can get laid. Stupid. Stop chasing women, focus on yourself, and eventually the right girl will come, and then you're just gonna build a nice family, and then you're off to the sunset. Second one, shiny object syndrome. Not being able to stick with something long enough for you to see results. The truth of the matter is, everything to some extent, to a certain capacity, works. Whether that's drop shipping, Amazon FBA, social media marketing, stock trading, day trading, garage sales, everything works. And the problem with most people is that they can't stick to something long enough for them to see results. And I'll give you an example. Let's say I keep using dropshipping. I'm just going to use it again. Actually, no, I'm going to use YouTube. Say you want to be a YouTuber, you're going to think, oh, I'm going to make this many videos, I'm going to make this much money, and then when I make that much money, I'm going to buy this thing, and then I'm going to take my parents here, and then everyone's going to want me. You post 5 videos and you get like 69 views. Why did I say that? You post 5 videos and you get 37 views, and you're like, you know what? This shit doesn't work. I'm gonna try something else. And you try crypto, and then you're like, oh, I bought, I don't know, Chainlink, for example. Someone told me that it was gonna 5x in the next 6 weeks. It doesn't fucking work. So you go to the next thing, which is NFTs, and you buy Logan Paul's NFT and it doesn't work out. The point I'm trying to drive home is that had you been consistent on the first endeavor that you did, which is being on YouTube, honing your skills, building your craft, reading, learning on how to make better videos, how to capture people's attention, what topics to talk about. If you've given it a good year, more than likely you would have already been successful. The problem is with people is that they start something, they don't get the results they want, shit gets hard, and they just fucking jump ship and then go to the next best thing that they think is gonna make them successful. Obviously it doesn't, because the second that thing gets hard, they jump off to the next best thing as well. So my advice, obviously research on what you wanna do, but once you've picked a endeavor that you wanna start, give it a good 6 months. Like genuinely try your hardest to be the best at it. If it's Amazon FBA, read Reddit, study, watch YouTube videos, try, split test A and B, see what's trending. Literally anything outside your work or whatever you do should be put into the endeavor that you've picked. If you've genuinely put 12 months into a certain endeavor and nothing happens, then I would say maybe try and pivot. But until then, you can't start things and not finish it. Whatever you start, you finish. And if you don't finish, you better make sure that you've tried your hardest, you've tried every possible outcome to become successful at it. Otherwise, you're not going to get anywhere. You're just going to become 30 with no skills, and you don't really have the skill of sticking to something, because that's also a skill that you need to learn. Same thing with the gym. If you go to the gym and then after 30 days you go, oh, I don't look like Arnold, then you're a fucking idiot. All right, guys, the third one is your environment. Now, I'm going to divide environment into two parts. One is your physical, geographical location. The second one is the people that you surround yourself with. Say you want to become a boxer, you want to be like Manny Pacquiao, whatever. But you live in the middle of Whoop Whoop. There's like one boxing gym and there's only like 5 people that you can train with. And there's literally no other opportunities you get. The next city is like 5 hours away. And compare that if you lived in a big city with multiple boxing gyms, with multiple coaches, with multiple training partners, which do you think is going to be better for you? If you live in a small city or like a small area, move to a bigger city. There's going to be more opportunities. There's going to be more people that you can learn from. There's going to be better competition, and better competition literally pushes you. So if you live in a small city and you want to become the best at what you want to become, chances are you're going to be better at what you do if you move to somewhere where a lot of people are doing the same thing you're doing. There's more people that you can brainstorm ideas from. There's more people that you can compete against. In turn, will make you better. Now, the second part of the environment is the people that you hang around with. I know this is really common. People have already said this, but you're the sum with yeah, you get what I mean. But that's true though. Your environment, the people that you hang around with, the conversations that you're having with the people that you surround yourself the most, literally shapes your ideas and your thought process. If you want to become a millionaire, you need to hang around other people who are millionaires. If they're not millionaires, at least hang around with people trying to get there. You can't become successful if you surround yourself with bums. If you want to become a millionaire, you want to make 50K a month, 100K a month, 1 million a month. You can't surround yourself with people who don't have jobs, smoke weed all day, and do nothing with their life. You just can't. So pick good people to surround yourself with. Like, I would even argue the people you surround yourself with is more important than the actual environment. So pick those people wisely. So the fourth one is the consumer mindset, keeping up with the Joneses. Most people, when they start making money, they start making more money, their lifestyle slowly creeps up along with the money that they make. So if they start making $1,000 a month, then they start buying shit that they don't really need. And I know that they wouldn't even buy had they not made more money. So for me, for example, when I started making a bit more money, I started to upgrade my car. Went from like a Honda Accord Euro to like a Mazda 3. I know not that much of a difference, but it was sort of a difference in the payments. I bought some new sheets, I bought an air fryer, I bought an air purifier, which I didn't really need. And now I'm not saying that you can't spoil yourself. All I'm saying is you have to be really careful, because a lot of people, when they start making money, they go from say $1,000 a month to $2,000 a month. In their head, they think, okay, now I've got an extra $1,000 a month. What can I buy with that money? I can buy this, I can buy that, I can buy that thing. The problem is you don't even need those things. Like, it's probably something that you don't urgently need. And what you should do, instead of obviously trying to find things to spend that money on, you should be saving that money. Because what's going to happen is, and knock on wood, this doesn't happen to you, is that you may lose your job, maybe the economy goes to shit, maybe there's a virus that wipes out stuff, and suddenly you don't have a job, you don't have any savings, and you've just got a bunch of shit that you don't really need but looks nice. And what I would suggest, and this is harder than it seems, I think, for most people, especially when you don't come from money and then you start getting money. Now you're like, okay, fuck, what am I gonna buy? I can buy this, I can buy that, or I can get this, or I don't really have money for this, but the next month, if I save that extra money that I have now, I can buy this. Just save your money. Honestly, just save your money. Don't get consumed with all the fashion trends and all this new stuff. Once you start making more money, set that money aside, keep it, invest it, save it, do whatever you need to do, but just don't buy things, one, to impress people, two, to just spend money, just to spend money, and think about a rainy day, okay? And this is probably something that's really important, because if you start making money in your 20s, if you save that money, if you're wise with your money, if you don't buy dumb things with your money, the money that you make in your 20s can actually set you up in your 30s. Like, you may not even have to work again. Say you're like early 20s and you save like 50,000. You buy a house as an investment, and that house turns into like another house and into another house. And then by the time you're like maybe 35, you've got like 10 houses that's paying you, I don't know, in total 25K a month. That's like money that you don't have to work for. So the money that you make in your 20s, if you save it up, can 100% set you up for your 30s. So be wise on how to use it. Fifth and last one is not learning money skills. And I'm only gonna talk about budgeting, otherwise we're gonna be here forever. So the problem with most people is that they get their pay, they pay the usuals, so they pay the rent, they pay the car, they pay the utilities, and whatever money that's left, they don't even save it. They just keep it in their checkings account and they just spend it on whatever. And the worst part about it is that they don't even know where the money goes. So if you get paid monthly, most people after like 3 weeks go, oh fuck, where's my money gone? It's all gone, and you don't even know where your money went. Maybe you went to beer, maybe you went to food, maybe your brother asked you for $20. And that's a big problem, because if you keep doing it, this is the reason why people live paycheck to paycheck. Okay, maybe you're not earning as much as you would like to earn, but the fact of the matter is, if you've actually jotted down, diarized, budgeted your money, even if you're living paycheck to paycheck, at least you know where your money is going to. And chances are, if you actually do a tally on where your money goes, you can then go, okay, I'm spending $100 in food, maybe I can spend 70. Or I spent $40 in gas, maybe I can go to like a gas station that's a bit cheaper, save like $10. If you don't write things down, everything just goes into the ether and your money's just gone. So budgeting is really important, and it's good to learn how to budget, especially if you just started earning money. So while you're making $1,000 a month, learn how to budget. So when you start making more money, you actually know how to save it, how to allocate it, what expenses are, what liabilities are, and you'll be able to manage your money. Because what's going to happen is that if you don't even know how to budget $1,000, you're not going to be able to budget $5,000. Okay? Even just on your notes app, just put down how much you're spending, what you're spending on, and how much money you have left at the end of the month. And that's going to help you. Yeah, that's it, guys. So avoid those 5 mistakes. I don't even think they're really that hard, to be honest. I just need you to be aware that that could be something that you're doing, and that's something that you should fix. I can guarantee you guys, once you hit 30s, you're gonna have much more money, you're gonna be much more fulfilled, and you're gonna love life much more. All right, see you guys. Have a good one.